Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Maddie, and in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about tags. Tags are a very versatile feature in RemNote. I use them all the time. There are so many use cases. So let's explore how they work, their behavior, and some examples of how to use them in your own workflow. So what are tags? Tags are modifiers to your rem that link that rem to another rem. And you can use them to group different rem together if they have similar ideas or if you want to remember them in a specific way. And they're very similar to how you tag things in other tools or on social media. So how to tag a rem, you use double hashtag. So for example, I'll type in 2 hashtags on this rem right here, and it'll bring up the tag editor, which is this blue box with the magnifying glass that says type to add a tag. You can tag a rem with a rem that already exists in your knowledge base, right? Because I said you're modifying it by linking it to an existing rem, or you can tag it with a brand new rem. And what that actually is going to do is create a new document for that rem. And I'm just going to show you some examples of how to use tags so that we can better understand their behavior. So the first way to use tags is to categorize different rem that are related. So let's say I'm in history class and I'm learning about different types of cheeses. So let's do mozzarella. There's 2 C's, I think. We have cheddar, Gouda. So I'm going to tag all of these rem with the tag cheese. So to do that, double hashtag to bring up the tag editor. I'm going to type in cheese. And since I don't have a rem for cheese, I could go ahead and create a new one right here using this button or Control+Enter. Now what I actually did there, because I created a new tag, was create a new document for cheese. Just to show you that, I'm going to hold Shift and click on cheese to open it up in a second pane. So here's a new cheese document I just created by tagging mozzarella with cheese. You can also see it's tagged with stub. Whenever you create a new rem using a tag, a reference, or a portal, it's going to be tagged with stub. This just lets you know that you made a rem this way. If you click on the stub tab, you can actually view that tag and see all the other stubs that you've made in the past. If I change the name of cheese in the cheese document, it's also going to change the name of cheese in the tag. Now I'm going to go ahead and tag the rest of these cheeses here. So again, I can use double hashtag to pull up the tag editor, type in cheese, and this time, since I've already created a tag for cheese, I don't have to create a new one. I can just tag it with this existing cheese. It might get cumbersome to tag your rem one by one, so an easier way to do this is actually just right-click on the tag itself, copy the tag, and then you can just highlight over all the rem you want to tag, and then use Control+V to paste that tag. To remove tags from rem, simply just hit the X next to the tag. You can also do that from the tag folder itself. Now I'm going to portal in that cheese rem that we just made so I can show you a few more features about tags. To portal in a rem, I'm going to use 2 open parentheses to bring up the portal embedder, type in cheese, and choose the cheese rem. And here's that cheese rem I just made a tag for. To the right of cheese, there's this number 2. This number represents any time that I've used cheese in a tag, in a reference, or in a portal. So if I click on the 2, you'll see that I've tagged cheese once with Gouda, and I've also included it in a portal right here in this document. Now the second way that I can tag all of these cheeses with cheese is I can copy cheese to my clipboard. To do that, I'm going to use Control+Shift+S while my editor is on cheese, and you'll see that the tag was copied to my clipboard. Now I can just highlight over all the rem I want to tag and just use Control+V. So later that day, I go to oncology class, and we learn about something called a Krukenberg tumor. So a Krukenberg tumor is an ovarian cancer that has metastasized, usually from somewhere in the abdomen, somewhere in the GI. So what I do with all of the cancers that I learn about is that I tag them with malignancy. So if I shift and left click on malignancy, you'll be able to see my malignancy folder with some common hereditary cancer syndromes, and you can see all of the other times I've tagged cancers throughout my knowledge base with malignancy. Now the next way that I like to use tags is to classify my study materials. So let's say in my history class I have a quiz tomorrow and it's only on mozzarella. So mozzarella is something that I really need to know. So for something that I like to do for topics that I need to learn urgently, I'll tag them with need to know. And I'm going to open up need to know in a second pane using shift and click. So shift and left click. And here I can see all the rem I tagged with need to know. These are all the high yield concepts that I need to learn about. Now my need to know folder includes all the rem that I need to learn urgently for an exam or for an upcoming quiz. And what I can actually do in this folder is I can expand all of these rem. I can do that by going to the page settings at the top right and practice rem, and it'll only create a study session for the need to know document. And once I feel like I've mastered the rem in need to know, I can just remove the tag. And the last example for using tags is to add power-ups to your rem. I'm actually not going to talk about that in this video since power-ups have their own separate video, but just know that power-ups are just rem documents. And remember that using tags, you're modifying that rem with another rem to link them together. So power-ups just give those rem certain unique functions throughout RemNote. All right, those are the basics of using tags in RemNote to categorize different information, classify your study materials, and just start linking all of the notes in your knowledge base together. I will see you all in the next video.